Welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. It is Tuesday, August 12, 2014, and I'm Leanne McAdoo. Well, a second day of rioting took place in Ferguson, Missouri. This is all in the wake of the fatal shooting of unarmed teen Michael Brown by police over the weekend. Now, the video that we're seeing out of St. Louis shows what is being described by local police as a war zone, and cops in riot gear have attempted to shut down the entire town in scenes that resemble martial law. Now, hundreds of protesters were outside the Quick Trip store, which is directly involved in this fatal shooting. The store was looted and set fire to on Monday night. And we're seeing SWAT vehicles, LRAD sound cannons, dogs, tear gas, smoke grenades, all of this on show as police in full riot gear are marching down the highway, shooting rubber bullets at demonstrators. Now, this video was shot by Antonio French, who is actually the alderman of the 21st Ward. He's a local official there. And at one point in the video, we see police pointing their weapons directly at French, ordering him to leave. And according to French, police have attempted to shut down the whole town in order to prevent the media from documenting events. And another photographer on scene confirmed that he too was threatened with arrest and ordered to leave the scene. So police are obviously trying to really control the situation there, make sure the media doesn't spin this story in a way that sheds a light on them that they're not wanting. But the police are continuing to assert that Michael Brown was unarmed. He was shot dead after struggling with police, and they say he attempted to seize an officer's gun. However, eyewitnesses say that Brown did not try to enter a police vehicle and was holding his arms up in surrender during the incident. That's why you'll see a lot of the protesters walking around with their arms raised, saying, "Stop, don't shoot." Now, police say they aren't going to be releasing the name of the officer who was involved due to death threats, but there are already rumors swirling around on Facebook of who the police officer was who was involved in this shooting. They're releasing his children's names, but the police are saying this is not even the appropriate person. So, of course, that's quite frightening considering how quickly this whole situation has descended into chaos. It's just a real testament to how quickly America itself could descend into chaos practically overnight. This all happened in St. Louis in a matter of hours. Now, scores of businesses, of course, have fallen victim to the looting, out-of-control rioters as well Sunday night. But a couple of stores weren't harmed in this. They went without incident. Now, St. Louis Ink Tattoo Studio and Country Guns, they share a storefront, and nobody is going to be robbing those stores anytime soon. Owners Mike Gutierrez and Adam Weinstein, they posted up outside of their businesses armed with assault rifles, pistols, tactical vests, and a rifle. They were peacefully sitting outside of their business, and it turns out that when looters come face to face with someone who's willing to protect their private property, they will move along and choose a safer target. And we got Adam Weinstein's take of the situation on the Alex Jones Show today.
The media reported that you guys stood out front the business with your AR-15s and that the looters went on by. I mean, is it accurate to say, kind of like the Koreans in the famous L.A. riots, that the fact that you were there and armed may have stopped looting of your business?
I truly believe that if we had not been out there, whether armed or not armed, I personally believe that is a deterrent. But I believe that if we hadn't been out there, they would have looted and destroyed that entire strip mall where there's probably a dozen businesses, and not one of them were touched except for the Dollar General, which happens to be detached from the strip mall.
Now, the mayor says that people have been coming in from other towns to take part in the rioting and the looting. He says that once the vigil dispersed, the people who showed up saw their numbers and they got really brave, and then people started driving in from other areas to steal stuff. A lot of the people aren't even from our town, but they came in and stole from our businesses and left our town in ruins and made it look like there are racial tensions here that simply aren't what they made them out to be. Such a shame that we have people with an axe to grind coming here to grind it. And then the mayor goes on to say his town is being targeted by outsiders. There are instances where hackers actually hacked into the city's email system demanding action. They crashed the system there. And also people were on Twitter calling for the riots and the looting to take place in white neighborhoods when this really wasn't a black versus white issue. The people there are saying, why don't we go and loot these white neighborhoods? That's the exact same thing we saw during the Trayvon Martin trial, the whole incident. Zimmerman, of course, was called white at the first instance there on the media, which he was not. But people were calling to go riot and loot in white neighborhoods. And of course, race baiter Al Sharpton never sees a situation where he can't exploit. He is in St. Louis today as well, basically just fueling this racial fire, this racial tension. But that's what they do, is they want to get people fired up about the racial tensions, divide the country on this issue, rather than uniting these people in this neighborhood, uniting the country to stand up against an increasingly violent police here in America, over militarization of the police force. That is the real issue. Corrupt cops shooting people. And that's what this is all about. But of course, while we're witnessing the collapse of society, while the world is on fire, Obama celebrates with not one, but 2 games of golf. This headline from the Washington Post reads, Obama vacations as the world burns. So the media finally gets it right. The president is, of course, on a 2-week vacation. He left immediately for Martha's Vineyard following his announcement of U.S. airstrikes on Iraq. This article says the president's got to play his golf games to just put the world out of his mind, just leave it all behind at the perils of the presidency. Kind of reminds me of Captain America, how the president can just play golf so calmly while the world is erupting into chaos. Captain America, the globalists, are up there in their high towers sipping champagne, actually toasting to the world descending into chaos, because it is a chaos that they created. And why did they create this chaos worldwide? Because then people will beg them for the new world order. And that is why I feel President Obama can allow photo ops of his golf games while we're seeing riots and looting in Ferguson, Missouri, cops shooting at peaceful protesters, mind you. Yeah, we have the people rioting and looting, but there were also peaceful protests taking place in other parts of the city. So while all of this is going on, the borders are wide open. We've got airstrikes on Iraq, Ukraine, Syria, Gaza. Obama is playing not 1, but 2 games of golf. City of Austin tap water versus filtered City of Austin tap water.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
This has an aftertaste.
Tastes like Austin water? Yeah, it does. Ah.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered through the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
High quality H2O.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing.
Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, Monsanto's deadly pesticide, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
Yeah, it has that processed flavor to it.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances and many more, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water.
Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today. Use promo code WATER and save 10% off your ProPure purchase. Again, that's InfoWarsStore.com or call 1-888-253-3139.